Hello everyone, it's me, Samuel Taylor Ackroyd, and a very good morning from Edinburgh Airport here in Scotland. This is the start of a super exciting trip all the way to Los Angeles, California via Frankfurt. This morning I am going to be flying from here in Edinburgh with Lufthansa on board one of their Airbus A319-100s over to Frankfurt in Germany. From there, I will then connect onto my all-time favourite aircraft, the Boeing 747, over to Los Angeles, California. But this trip report is about the A319 over to Frankfurt in Germany. So I am just walking over to the terminal here at Edinburgh Airport. I'm currently just walking past the car rental places and the hotels, and I'm just making my way by foot over to the terminal. I've got no luggage to drop off, just my carry-on suitcase. So let's head over to the terminal. From there I can just head straight through security without going to check-in, and it's around about 3:30 in the morning, so a lot of people will be beginning to arrive for the so-called first wave flights, which are all scheduled to depart at roughly 6 o'clock this morning. So it will be probably the busiest time of day for Edinburgh Airport right now. So I will see you once we get over to the terminal. It's so weird to see that there is literally 0 buses outside the terminal building here at Edinburgh Airport, but that's all going to end up changing within the next half an hour when it reaches 4 o'clock and everyone gets here about 2 hours or so before their flight. Okay, so right now I'm the only passenger currently walking to security, and it is open. It would have only just opened, so if there's anyone in there, it will only be a few people. So this is bound to be a smooth security experience. So I'll see you when I'm airside. Security cleared within just a few minutes, not busy at all. Although they did pull my carry-on suitcase aside, and it looked like they were going to be searching my bag, but then for whatever reason they decided to just not search my bag. I mean, why pull my bag aside and then not search it? I don't know, but it saved me a bit of time, I suppose. So it looks like I'm not going to be walking through the duty-free store this morning, as it is not yet open, as it is before 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm currently just walking through a corridor that normally only staff use, and I'll be taking it straight out into the departure lounge. Alright, so it's about 3:43 in the morning, so in roughly 17 minutes from now, all the restaurants and shops should start opening up. It's very, very quiet in here right now, but it's because it is before 4 o'clock in the morning, when everything is scheduled to be open for business for the day. One thing I forgot to mention in the intro, not that this detail really matters to the trip report, but the reason why this is a rather special day for flying for me is not just because I'm flying on board my favourite aircraft type, but it's also to celebrate my 20th birthday, which is why I chose to fly out to Los Angeles on this particular day, to celebrate my 20th birthday. So I'm no longer a teenager, I'm now in my 20s, which is just so strange to think about, and I'm going to need to get used to saying that. So I'm just having a wee wander around the terminal, not that there is anything to have a look at, and not that anything is open, but I guess it's just to keep me moving for a bit, get my steps in for the morning before I have to sit on board a 747 for 11 hours. One of my favourite things about Edinburgh Airport is the fact that there's water features here for you to fill up your water bottle completely free of charge. Well, the airport is definitely in action right now, and I just got done having quite a nice breakfast to have on your 20th birthday. I just had a traditional breakfast from Wetherspoons, located right in the heart of the departure lounge here at Edinburgh Airport, and I was one of the first few customers of the day in the restaurant, so it was not that busy, thank goodness as well, because this place usually gets packed, and even right now, just before all the first wave flights start to board, it's still not quite as busy as I thought it would be. But now that I've filled myself up with a nice traditional breakfast with a nice cup of tea, I'm going to go wait round by gate 4, which I believe is the gate that I'll be boarding my flight from, because I believe that's where my A319 over to Frankfurt is currently parked. So I'm going to head over there just now, and on the way over there I am going to need to stop in one of the shops to pick up some equipment, because I forgot to bring my universal power socket to American socket adapter things, whatever you call them. So I'm going to need to go and buy some of those, otherwise I won't be able to charge up my devices while I'm in Los Angeles. On my way to gate 4, I could barely see the aircraft as there are 2 sets of windows in the way, and as you can see from this shot, the gate area was busy as there was a Ryanair flight boarding at gate 3 next to us. Eventually we were called for boarding at gate 4. Boarding was done in groups, and I was in group 3. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a decent shot of the front of the aircraft due to it being so dark outside that the lights were reflecting on the windows. But the aircraft flying me as far as Frankfurt this morning is an Airbus A319-100 registered as Delta-Alpha India Lima Lima, which at the time was 27 years old and made its first flight on the 27th of May 1997. The aircraft flew with Lufthansa for roughly 7 years before flying for the now defunct German wings, before going back to Lufthansa. Then it flew for Lufthansa Italia, then once again returned to flying with Lufthansa. The front of the cabin consists of a few business class seats, which are literally the same as economy, just with the middle seats blocked off. I was sat in the economy cabin in seat 18A, which offers a nice view of the wing. We would take a small delay before pushing back, but only by a few minutes, so no big deal. As we push back, let me tell you about a nice surprise I ended up getting on this flight. So while we were parked at the gate, 2 crew members came around the cabin and they were actually looking for me. They were looking for me so they could wish me a happy birthday in front of the other passengers in the area around me, and gave me 2 Ferrero Rocher chocolates as a little present. Not sure how exactly they knew it was my birthday. Perhaps Lufthansa saw that it was my birthday and made sure that the crew on this flight wished me a happy birthday, but either way, it was such a nice surprise. My seatmate also ended up wishing me a happy birthday after hearing the crew do so. So this definitely made this flight a really good one. Now let's begin our taxi to runway 24 and make our way over to Frankfurt. Well, that was certainly one bumpy takeoff from Edinburgh, and while it was rather cloudy over the city at the time, people sitting on the left side still got some alright views of Edinburgh, all lit up during the early hours before sunrise. Here's a look at the seat on Lufthansa's A319. Legroom is pretty generous, and for reference I am roughly 6 foot tall, and I'd also recommend that if you have a bag that goes under the seat in front of you, you move it back after takeoff to make more room and therefore have more comfort. There is a seat back pocket you can use to store some of your belongings. The tray table is a decent size and reclines by a pretty good amount for smaller passengers. It also offers 2 indents for 2 drinks. Above the tray table there is a safety card, a duty-free catalogue and an onboard delights menu. There is a QR code you can scan so you can purchase Wi-Fi on board. However, on a short hop like this, I personally don't bother. On the side of the seat, there is a coat hook. On the armrest, there is a button to recline the seat. Above the seat, there are personal air vents, reading lights, call buttons for the crew's attention, and of course the no smoking sign, as well as the fasten seatbelt sign, which was turned off at the time. The duty-free catalogue has a good selection on offer and is also very AvGeek friendly, as there is some aircraft memorabilia on offer. However, I didn't buy anything, but it's still good to have a look at if you're bored. And last but not least, here is a quick look at the onboard delights menu. The crew came around the cabin soon after takeoff offering bottles of water, which I always love to take advantage of. Always make sure to drink plenty of water when flying. They also came around later on in the flight offering chocolate. Normally passengers are only given 1 chocolate, but because it was my birthday, I was given 2. As we cruised over the North Sea and approached the Netherlands, the sun started to rise, so I'll be quiet for a bit and let you enjoy these few clips of the sun as it was rising. We soon began our descent and we landed onto runway 07 left. We also ended up arriving a few minutes early despite the slight delay at the gate. All in all, this was such a great flight with Lufthansa. This might just be my own opinion, but I personally think that Lufthansa offer the best economy seats on short-haul flights within Europe, thanks to the brilliant legroom and good design of the seat. What makes this flight stand out to me is the crew on this flight definitely made my 20th birthday even better by coming around and wishing me a happy birthday and giving me some Ferrero Rocher chocolates as a present, as well as 2 Lufthansa chocolates instead of 1. Landing into Frankfurt always excites me, as I always love to see all these passenger 747s and A340s parked up, especially knowing I myself am connecting onto one of those 747s. The crew were also kind enough to allow me a flight deck visit after we arrived at the gate. However, they asked me not to take any pictures or videos, but at least I was allowed that flight deck visit. Now, this particular 747 that you can see in this shot is actually the one that I'll be connecting onto for my flight to Los Angeles and is registered as Delta-Alpha Bravo Yankee Charlie, which will be in the next trip report. We pulled up onto gate Z20 and luckily for me, my connecting flight to LAX is in the same concourse, which is concourse Z for Zulu, so no need to go through border control or another security checkpoint, so a hassle-free connection for me. Thanks so much Lufthansa for such an amazing flight, and thank you for watching this trip report. Stay safe and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.